At round 2 of the National Heads Up Poker Championship, the Kings collide. Daniel Negreanu is making the bold bluffs and cool plays, sometimes the amazing calls.
8 of diamonds, that'll be exciting. 8 of diamonds! I called it! Jack of diamonds. Jack of diamonds! I called them both!
Today he squares off against the man they call the Magician. Antonio Esfandiari escaped the jaws of defeat 4 times in round 1 and celebrated with the celebs. Phil Hellmuth has long been poker's bad boy, but here at the Heads Up, he's been poker's mad boy.
And all of a sudden, they have me ranked 15th or 20th in the odds sheet. And I'm like, you know, come on, man.
Today, Hellmuth goes head-to-head with .com millionaire Paul Phillips, who came dressed for the occasion. Welcome to the National Heads Up Poker Championship, presented by Full Tilt Poker. And another full house at the Golden Nugget for this, the round of 32. Hello, everyone. Matt Vasgersian alongside Gabe Kaplan. And at the feature table, it's 2004 Player of the Year Daniel Negreanu squaring off against the player they call the Magician, Antonio Esfandiari.
Daniel is the hottest poker player in the world right now, and that doesn't bother Antonio because Antonio thinks he can beat the hottest poker player in the world.
8-6 offsuit for Daniel, and Antonio will check with a 7-deuce offsuit. Yikes. Flop comes out 4-9-4. Antonio quickly checks, and Daniel bets 600.
Antonio's going to call. He doesn't think Daniel has much, and he's probably going to take a shot at this pot at some point.
Turns an ace of hearts, check, check, onto the river, which brings a queen of spades.
That doesn't help anybody. I think Antonio has to bet here. He's got 7 deuce. He can't win in a showdown.
Antonio bets 1,100.
I was only kidding.
And Daniel lays down his hand.
I got it on the turn. You had it all the way.
Antonio was lying and Daniel was guessing wrong. Shaping up to be a real interesting match.
And welcome, Matt Vasgersian alongside Gabe Kaplan. And at our featured table today, Gabe, we see the early trappings of a psychological duel between Antonio Esfandiari and Daniel Negreanu.
Antonio is not playing the Abe Lincoln style of poker. He's decided the best way to beat Daniel is to lie, confuse him, never tell him the truth about anything.
Meanwhile, the talk of the tournament is still the near upset yesterday in that fantastic match when James Woods almost beat poker legend Johnny Chan.
Everybody's still talking about it, and everybody's talking about how different Heads Up is. You might as well throw all your DVDs, all your books about poker out the window. They don't count here. This is one-on-one, mano-on-mano, just judging your opponent. That's what makes it so great. That's what makes it so entertaining.
Maybe nobody better at one-on-one, maybe nobody better at judging one's opponent than legend Johnny Chan. And there is Johnny Chan, who goes from facing an actor to an author, as here in the second round he takes on David Sklansky, who's written more than a dozen poker books. And there you see perhaps the #1 tournament specialist in the world, TJ Cloutier. In this second round, he's up against Mike Caro, the man nicknamed the Mad Genius of Poker. And perhaps the most compelling story of the first round, that of 81-year-old Holocaust survivor Henry Orenstein, who matches up against pool pro turned poker pro John Hennigan. But now back to our featured table, where Daniel Negreanu is trying to get past the tricky Antonio Esfandiari.
I started learning a couple tricks. I saw the reaction that I got from people. I was instantly hooked. All of a sudden, I was the guy. So I just kept with it. I practiced 12 hours a day for about 2 years, and it was my passion. I wanted to be, you know, the next David Copperfield, and then I discovered poker. So that was that. It's the best 64 players in the world. And it's all mano-a-mano, one-on-one, which is a whole different strategy. So it's a very prestigious event. And, you know, if you win, you get to say you beat the best players in the world. And they call me the magician.
Yeah, Antonio's greatest act of magic was not disappearing in his first-round match against Howard Lederer.
He was all in 4 times. One time he was down to $850. I don't think it was magic. I think there was a lot of luck in coming back and winning that match.
And via the Emberbach pocket cam, a 10-7 off suit for Antonio. Raises to 1,500 and suited 7-4 for Daniel.
Oh, I got a weird feeling about this hand.
Antonio just said he has a weird feeling about this hand.
And maybe that's why the flop comes out 5-6-8. Daniel flops a straight and quickly checks.
He's trying to trap Antonio, hoping Antonio has a 5, a 6, and 8. Antonio has a straight draw.
Antonio checks, and the turns of 4 of clubs, and now that gives Antonio a straight as well. Now, what those unusual percentages tell us is that there's a 91% chance of a split pot. The only chance Antonio has to win the pot outright is with a 9. River's a 6 of diamonds.
Antonio didn't raise on 4th Street because he was afraid that Daniel might have a flush. Now he's got to also be concerned about a full house.
Flush kid?
He was concerned about the flush, and now he's trying to get a read on Daniel.
I want to muck this hand so bad.
It would be amazing if he lays his hand down.
I know you got a flush, but I still pay you off, you know?
Antonio calls. Both players have the straight, and they will split the pot.
Antonio started off with negative feelings about this hand, and they continued.
You said you had a bad feeling about this hand. I saw the flop, and I was like, I hope he's right, man. I swear I hope he's right. Give him 2 kings right now.
I almost mucked the river.
I don't think so, Antonio. Neither Daniel nor I are going for it.
The first-person analysis at the featured table continues on the National Heads Up Poker Championship right after this.
Want to play online poker for free? With Play Poker Go, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, Play Poker Go lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
10 deuce and get there.
Eight of diamonds, that'll be exciting. 8 of diamonds!
Oh my God, you called it.
Okay, Jack of diamonds. Jack of diamonds! I called them both!
Yes! Just the ace of diamonds out of there. Yes! No heart. Nice hand.
There's a poker guy.
Johnny Chan hoping that the poker gods continue to let the good times roll. They're at an outer table now where Johnny Chan has David Sklansky all in.
But unfortunately for Johnny, both these players have flopped 2 pair. But David Sklansky has the higher 2 pair. Johnny was hoping that David had a draw. Now Johnny's dead to a 9.
Clubs on the turn, no help for Johnny Chan.
Johnny Chan will be down to almost nothing if he doesn't get a 9 on this card.
And the river, a 5 of hearts, and Johnny Chan is left just about crippled. Each second round table has 80,000 in chips in play, and after that huge win for Sklansky, Johnny Chan is left with just 1,600 in chips. We rejoin Daniel Negreanu and Antonio Esfandiari now, where Daniel is short stacked as he looks at suited Big Slick. Good enough for a raise to 2,000. Antonio looking at a pair of 10s.
These are big hands in a ring game. Forget about heads up. Monster hands, Antonio calls.
Flop is 7-5-10. Antonio flops a set, and Daniel flops a nut flush draw.
Look how casually Antonio bet out there. Great move to bet out with top set, and he did it at the right time because Daniel's got the nut flush draw.
Daniel raises to 7,500.
Daniel has no idea how strong Antonio is right now.
And Antonio raises it another 10,000.
Light bulb just went off in Daniel's head. He realizes he's up against another strong hand. Antonio has played this hand very well.
Big hand. Before you do that.
Daniel's moving all in.
All
and
right.
quickly, Antonio calls him.
You don't want to know what I got.
Oh, I got outs. He flopped the set, huh? Son of a gun. I'm in trouble.
Neither one of them had any choice there. They both realize the situation.
I definitely need it.
Look.
If he can catch a heart without the board pairing, he'll eliminate Antonio.
Kid. You knew I had outs, right?
All right.
They walk over together like they're at SeaWorld watching one of the exhibits.
They can barely stand this.
Set. If I thought you had a set, I wouldn't have raised.
Turns a 7. That pairs the 7s on the board, makes a full house for Antonio, who wins a big hand.
Yes, and Daniel Negreanu, just like Johnny Chan, has run into some tough luck. They are both in very bad shape, two of our tournament favorites.
Action on one of our outer tables now, where Josh Arieh is all in against Ted Forrest.
And Josh is in bad shape here. Ted's got a pair of kings. Josh is going to need an ace to stay in the tournament.
Josh's wife Angela is aware of the gravity of the situation. Flop comes 4-3 king. Ted flops a set.
And now things are getting dimmer for Josh Arieh. He's going to need a lot of help here to win this pot.
The turn, a 2 of hearts, now a ray of hope for Josh, who has a straight draw here.
Josh can win with a 5. So he has a way out here. I think his wife knows it.
No 5 on the river, a 9 of diamonds. Ted Forrest with his set advances on to the field of 16.
Josh Arieh gets a little love from his wife, and his friend Erick Lindgren's there to console him.
Now to one of our other outer tables, where Dennis Wager, one of the tournament wildcards, is all in against Scott Fischman.
Dennis is in great shape here to double up. He's got a pair of 6s. Scott's going to have to catch a 4 or a deuce to get lucky here.
Turn card, a deuce.
Boom is right. And unless Dennis Wager here can catch another 6, he's going to be eliminated.
That deuce on the turn may have lowered the boom on Dennis Wager. Indeed, the 7 on the river finishes off the tournament wild card as Scott Fischman advances.
And Dennis Wager is asking for the mic.
Laura, would you come out here for a minute? Please come out here.
He's asking for Laura.
Laura, would you marry me?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Hey, why not? No Vegas story would be complete without a wedding.
I didn't catch that 6 on the river. Now marry me.
And we'll be back to the National Heads Up Poker Championship right after this.
Looking for poker that's fun and free? Play Poker Go brings you authentic poker action. No bots, gimmicks, just players like you from all over the world. Jump straight into a ring game or test your skills in a tournament against real competition. With Play Poker Go, every hand feels like the real deal. Find Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free. Play Poker Go.
Welcome back to the National Heads Up Poker Championship presented by Full Tilt Poker. We get you right back inside the poker room. More all-in action. Mike Caro's tournament life is at stake against TJ Cloutier.
Mike was low in chips, and he got lucky to pick up an ace-queen here. But TJ's got a decent hand, too. He's got a king-jack.
Flop is queen, 3, king. They both flop a pair, but TJ's king's top pair.
TJ has Mike in bad shape now. He's got a pair of kings.
Turns a 10 of diamonds, no help for Mike.
Mike's going to need a jack or a queen. A jack would make him a straight, and a queen would make him 3 queens.
River's a 6 of spades. TJ Cloutier will advance into the field of 16.
There's TJ's wife, Joy.
So the mad genius of poker has been eliminated. Now to Lindsay Czarniak with a story on a poker innovation that's been called, well, genius.
One of the latest innovations in the game of poker is the Shuffle Master Deckmate. My new friend Earl is here to tell us all about it.
Well, one of the things players like about it a lot is in a full table game, it really speeds up play, which is good. Also, it delivers a completely random pack of cards out of the machine, as opposed to maybe a pack in the hands of someone who may have picked up a few pointers along the way, Lindsay. You understand about that, don't you? In fact, I've been trying to save one for you. How's that?
You know, I got a game later. You want to come with me?
It's not a problem.
Back to our featured table now, where Daniel Negreanu is short-stacked against Antonio Esfandiari. And Daniel looking at a suited Jack-10, quickly moving all in on it.
Yeah, he really doesn't have much choice, Matt.
4, 5,
10 Jack suited.
6,000.
He's got 6,000 left. He's got to go all in.
Like a no-brainer.
Antonio's quick to call.
He has to. He's got King 9. Chance to knock Daniel out of the tournament.
Thanks, bro.
Either way.
There they go, back to SeaWorld.
Got a shot. About to pick him.
Come on, Cheryl. King one time.
King 9,
Queen
queen.
do 7.
King, queen 9.
Daniel calling
Queen
for
9,
9, Queen, King to make it straight.
King 9.
Flop is 9, King
what I was calling.
3,
Here comes
2
the
pair
queen.
for Antonio.
Well, Daniel got 2/3 of what he wanted. Now all he needs is a queen.
That's what I felt was coming, the queen. Don't you
You
feel
did
it coming?
call it.
I think it's
kinda
coming.
feel it coming. It's kind of gross.
No lady on the turn of Forrest
If it
Spades.
wasn't a turn, it wasn't going to come.
So now only the queen will save Daniel Negreanu.
Not much chance. You see it there, 9%.
Rivers a king of hearts. That makes a full house for Antonio. A quick, resounding win. And the magician has made one of the tournament favorites disappear.
Want to play online poker for free? With Play Poker Go, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, Play Poker Go lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Welcome back to the National Heads Up Poker Championship presented by Full Tilt Poker.
Action finishing up on the outer tables. John Juanda, one of the hottest players of the past year, knocked out one of the most colorful, Amir Vahidi, setting up a quarterfinal match against Barry Greenstein, who, with a shrug, eliminated Billy Baxter. Back to another outer table now, where John Hennigan, nicknamed Johnny World, as his gambling philosophy reads, the sky's the limit, has 81-year-old Henry Orenstein in a heap of trouble. Henry's wife, Susie, who was, of course, there with the rest of the electrified crowd when Henry knocked out one of the tournament favorites, Chip Reese, in the first round.
However, Henry's in a world of trouble here, Matt. He's got King Jack, and John Hennigan's got a pair of aces. Henry's going to need some serious help.
Turns a 9 of clubs.
Well, that's one way he can win. If he catches a queen now, Henry can win this pot. His only out is a queen.
And the river card is 7 of hearts, and that means that John Hennigan eliminates Henry Orenstein and advances in the tournament. One of the pioneers of televised poker gone in the second round, as his opponent pays him a respectful round of applause. So, Gabe, the second round of the clubs bracket is now complete.
We have 4 veterans surviving. 2 interesting matches coming up at the end of the club's bracket. Barry Greenstein, John Juanda, TJ Cloutier, and Johnny World Hennigan.
In the diamond bracket, the third round will feature Ted Forrest taking on Antonio Esfandiari, and Scott Fischman waiting on the winner between David Sklansky and Johnny Chan. We take you right back to their outer table action now. And as we rejoin this match, we find Johnny Chan in trouble despite doubling up twice. And he looks like he's in trouble with Golden Nugget Chairman and CEO Tim Poster over his shoulder, too.
Johnny was still short on chips, and he was forced to go all in with a 7-4 offsuit. And David Sklansky woke up with an ace-jack. Johnny wants to see some 7s and 4s here on the flop.
Johnny Chan, one of the tournament favorites, if not the tournament favorite. Flop comes 6, deuce, king.
No help to Johnny Chan. You can see it in his face.
No help on the turn, a 6 of spades.
Johnny Chan needs a 7 or a 4.
Rivers and ace of clubs, a huge win for David Sklansky. The poker author knocks out the poker legend in the second round.
Johnny Chan packs up his orange and he's headed home.
How about David Sklansky knocking off not one, but 2 of the tournament favorites, Phil Ivey in the first round and Johnny Chan here. Oh, and look who's quietly lurking on deck, Phil Hellmuth. Poker's always entertaining bad boy in a featured match next.
Looking for poker that's fun and free? Play Poker Go brings you authentic poker action. No bots, gimmicks, just players like you from all over the world. Jump straight into a ring game or test your skills in a tournament against real competition. With Play Poker Go, every hand feels like the real deal. Find Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free. Play Poker Go.
Welcome back to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. With the clubs and diamond brackets complete, the players in the hearts and spades have taken their seats. There's the reigning World Series of Poker champion Greg Raymer taking on Huck Seed, the 1996 main event world champion. And there's Evelyn Ng. She's one of only 3 women to advance to the round of 32, up against maybe the fastest player in the tournament, Carlos Mortensen. And in a matchup of real contrasting styles, it's the enigmatic Gus Hansen playing the stoic Chris Jesus Ferguson. And at our featured table, a matchup pitting the combative Phil Hellmuth against .com millionaire Paul Phillips.
Remember, this is the matchup that Paul Phillips wanted. He wanted to play Phil Hellmuth. He's wearing his jersey.
Phillips calls on suited 9-6. On suited king 9, Hellmuth checks. And the flop comes 6-9 jack.
Phil Hellmuth has flopped a pair of 9s, but Paul Phillips has flopped bottom 2 pairs, 6s and 9s.
Phil quickly checked.
Let's see how much Paul bets here.
1,600 by Phillips.
A pro bet. He wants to see if Phil has anything.
And Phil quickly calls. Turns a king. Huge card for Phil, who checks very quickly.
Paul's kind of wondering, why did Phil call on the flop? Did that king help him? He should bet. He's just trying to figure out how much.
He bets 3,000.
Now Hellmuth should raise. He's got kings and 9s.
He calls.
Surprised me.
Rivers and ace of hearts.
That's a kind of scary card for Phil Hellmuth. He's still got the best hand, but that could have made 2 pair for Paul Phillips or even a flush.
Hellmuth bets 3,500.
Safe bet. He doesn't want to get trapped for a lot of money if Paul Phillips has made a better hand, but he wants to get paid off.
How much you just bet? It's so frustrating.
Phillips calls.
Well, I guess you got me. I got kings and 9s.
Come on, Hellmuth, lose the hand before you moan.
So Phil Hellmuth, in his own inimitable style, takes down a nice pot in this matchup of 2 longtime adversaries.
Phil, what can you say about Phil? I write online about poker a fair degree, and my usual target when I feel like making fun of something is Phil. And it's because it's just so hard not to.
Paul Phillips showed up last night with the Phil Hellmuth hockey jersey on, and at times has tried to get under my skin a little bit.
In many ways, it's too easy, and it's kind of cheap to make fun of Phil because he's just a walking dartboard. Phil's probably a small favorite over me going into this match, but, you know, he can't be that big a favorite.
Wait till I tell Hellmuth that Paul Phillips said Phil's only a small favorite over him.
Well, Phil continues his dialogue with himself, something I believe he's tried to trademark in poker, as he looks down at a suited 9-5.
These pots, my goodness.
And he calls $1,000.
Same thing with men.
Suited jack deuce for Paul Phillips.
In an hour.
They're checks.
Called me with some hand he wasn't supposed to play.
Flop comes deuce, jack, jack. Paul Phillips flops a full house and checks.
He didn't know what to do. This hand was so big, he was surprised.
So Hellmuth bets 2,000.
Great for Paul Phillips.
This guy won't let me get away with anything. Wow.
Very good play here. Paul Phillips is raised to 5,000. He's trying to make Phil Hellmuth think he's bluffing, that he has nothing. He's trying to take the pot away. And Phil Hellmuth seems to be sensing this. He didn't like that raise. He figured if Paul Phillips had a big hand, he would just call.
I can't take this anymore. He's running me over. I'm going to raise.
Hellmuth will raise here.
Paul Phillips has got to love this. His play has worked perfectly.
Hellmuth raises another 5,500.
Now, Paul Phillips has got a decision.
And he goes all in.
He was thinking that maybe Phil did have a jack. Phil has nothing.
So Phil folds.
Paul Phillips definitely outplayed Phil Hellmuth in that hand, and Phil's not going to be happy about it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, buddy. I'd like to play you for a couple 100,000 sometime where we have a long time to work our chips. We can play heads up, no limit, hold.
Hey, Phil, you know, when they asked me on TV, I said you were the favorite in this match. I wasn't just saying it.
No kidding.
No kidding. Phil can't actually enjoy that compliment, though. He has to act like it's self-apparent.
Well, of course it's apparent. I've won just 9 World Series bracelets. All of them is enough for me.
You know, you can ask around on the field, because other people seem to be surprised to hear that I'm
sure a lot of guys would think you're the favorite.
This is Phil Hellmuth's way of bonding with somebody.
We take you now to an outer table where better poker etiquette will likely be exercised, as one of the voices of the World Poker Tour, Mike Sexton, has Erick Lindgren all in.
Mike's got Erick in plenty of trouble here. Mike's got the bullets, 2 aces.
Erick needs a queen or an 8 to survive this.
American Airlines, 2 aces. To win this spot. AA. Erick does need a queen or an 8, or he's going to be eliminated from the tournament.
River card is a 4 of spades. So Mike Sexton advances as he eliminates one of poker's young guns. And his voice will be heard into the 3rd round.
Want to play online poker for free? With Play Poker Go, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, Play Poker Go lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Back inside to action at one of our 7 outer tables now, where Gus Hansen, seated on your right, the winner of the Poker Superstars, battles one of poker's unique talents. He always dresses in black. He's a ballroom dancing enthusiast, Chris Jesus Ferguson.
Chris is strictly a tournament player. Never plays in any of the side games. On the other hand, Gus Hansen loves to play in the side games, loves to play anywhere.
Nice hand for Chris with a pair of ladies.
Huge hand. Huge hand in any game, particularly in heads up.
And he raises to 6,000. Ace tray offsuit for Gus.
You never can tell what Gus is going to do.
Poker's man of 1,000 faces, stewing on this one.
I don't think you can find 2 guys with more contrasting looks than Gus Hansen and Chris Ferguson.
Hansen calls. And the flop comes 4 king king.
Good flop for Chris Ferguson. Most flops without an ace would be good flops for Chris.
Gus checks. And Chris will bet out now 8,000.
I like that play. And you never can tell what Gus Hansen is going to do. He is Mr. Unpredictable. He's not going out immediately.
Oh, here goes Gus Hansen, earning that reputation as a loose player. He'll raise to move all in.
I think what happened here is Gus put Chris on a better ace, ace-10, ace-jack, and he thought Chris would lay it down. He didn't realize Chris had a hand as strong as queens. There's no way that Chris is going to lay this down. Chris always thinks about things. He never moves instinctively unless he has the absolute nuts. He's a deliberate player.
Chris indeed calls.
I didn't. I played bad.
That was music to Chris's ears, Gus saying he plays bad. Chris turns over his queens.
Now Gus needs an ace, running threes, running kings.
Anytime you need running anything, you're in trouble.
See Chris Ferguson, a big favorite here.
Woke up with a hand.
Turns a 9 of spades, no help for Gus. Now he's down to just an ace to save him.
It's okay to play that way.
He's trying to justify his play. Chris Ferguson, the PhD in computer sciences, knows his odds have gotten even better here. And the river is an 8 of diamonds. Chris Ferguson advances by eliminating Gus Hansen.
I played bad.
That trademark aggressiveness, which has won a lot of tournaments for Gus Hansen, betrayed him here. He overplayed his hand and misread Chris Ferguson.
Yeah, I had a bunch of good hands.
So we go from the genteel sportsmanship at the outer table back to the poker cage match at our featured table and rejoin Phil Hellmuth and Paul Phillips. Hellmuth was suited ace-8. Phillips has 7-3. He checks. Flop comes 7-5-6.
This gives Paul a pair of sevens and an inside straight draw, but it gives Phil Hellmuth an open-end straight draw, also a backdoor flush draw.
Phillips leads out with 4,000.
4,000, huh? That's an awfully big bet.
Phil doesn't have anything right now. He has a great potential, though.
Hellmuth calls. And the turn, big card, 4 of hearts.
That gives them both straights. Paul Phillips has the low end of the straight.
He checks.
Phil Hellmuth has the high end.
And Hellmuth leads out with 4,000.
That's a cautious bet, Matt. Although Phil does have the high end of the straight, he doesn't have the absolute nuts, the absolute best hand. An 8-9 is the best hand, and Phil Hellmuth is notorious for not getting himself trapped.
Phillips calls.
That made Phil comfortable.
River's a 9 of clubs.
Nothing has changed. Paul Phillips has the bottom end of the straight. Phil Hellmuth now has the high end of the straight. The only higher possible hand would be an 8-10, but he's not worried about that now. He's trying to extract as much money from Paul Phillips as he can. He might even suspect that Paul has the bottom end.
10,000.
And Hellmuth bets 10,000.
Paul Phillips got a lot to think about.
Well, Phil, all my instincts tell me you have it, but I don't see how I can lay this down under these conditions.
Phillips calls, so Hellmuth takes down a big pot and takes the lead.
If you raise the flop and putting it all in, you might get there anyway.
I know, I didn't want to do that. I mean, I figured you had a pair and a straight draw.
There's no confrontation, no mumbling. Feels all smiles when he wins a pot.
And all business when he sets a goal.
I decided that I was going to be a professional poker player. And then I decided I'm going to win the World Series of Poker. And then after I won the World Series of Poker, I said I'm going to be the best poker player of all time.
So please, 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 let me get what I want this time.
I have something. I don't know what it is. I don't win every time. but I want to become the greatest poker player of all time, and I can do it.
Well, some people question Phil's attitude, but it's really hard to question his success. He is one of poker's most accomplished players.
Phillips looks down at 9-deuce.
I just can't take it, man. I mean, I'm not that demanding. I don't need aces every hand. How about just a 10? A 10.
Yes, it has been a long time since he's caught any cards.
A 10. I mean, of all the things to beg the poker gods for, A 10, I would say, is pretty freaking low on the list.
You're starting to make Phil Hellmuth look normal.
Ooh. Stop!
You had me, but not dominated.
At least you folded to me twice.
2 in a row.
I'm not!
Paul Phillips is in the need of some medical attention right here, I think.
It's intolerable. Are we finally going up in a minute? I cannot wait until this is just the all-in luck fest. That's what I'm ready for. Stupid! Stupid! Just give me a 10!
This kind of irrational behavior is totally unacceptable to Mr. Hellmuth.
I want a 10, a jack, a queen, a king, an ace, or any 2 cards with less than 4 places between them. I think I've just narrowed down it.
All right, we need some time to remove the sharp objects and shoelaces from the pavilion. We'll return to this calm, calculating match right after this.
Looking for poker that's fun and free? Play Poker Go brings you authentic poker action. No bots, gimmicks, just players like you from all over the world. Jump straight into a ring game or test your skills at a tournament against real competition. With Play Poker Go, every hand feels like the real deal. Find Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free. Play Poker Go.
Action finishing across the outer tables. Carlos Mortensen defeated our former NBC colleague Evelyn. And the tournament lost another female when Lyle Berman eliminated Jennifer Harman. Huck Seed finished off 2004 World Series champion Greg Raymer. And Raymer's predecessor Chris Moneymaker lost as well, falling to Mimi Tran. And as good as all that action was, dare I say, Gabe, it pales in comparison to the fun we've seen at the featured table here as we rejoin Phil Hellmuth and Paul Phillips.
Was I going to get in trouble? You look.
I didn't look, but I read you as pretty weak.
It's hard not to read me as weak right now.
Paul Phillips still looking like he could use a couple of Xanax.
We take a look courtesy of the Amber Bach pocket cam at Phil Hellmuth's hand of ace-jack. He calls. King-7 offsuit for Phillips.
Yeah, Phil chose not to raise with his ace-jack.
Flop comes ace-king-9.
Interesting. Paul has flopped second pair of kings. Phil Hellmuth has a pair of aces, and he didn't raise before the flop.
So after Phillips checked, Hellmuth bets out 3,000, and Phillips calls.
Paul probably thinks he has the best hand now.
Turns it to a spades, no help for Phillips.
Paul should put out a feeler bet here, find out where Phil is at. That's what he does. He bets 5,000.
And he gets his answer immediately as Hellmuth says he's all in.
What did he bet, 5? I know it's all in, right? Yes. Okay.
Now, Paul Phillips hasn't had a hand for quite a while. Those kings look mighty big. He's thinking, is Phil Hellmuth putting a move on me? He didn't raise before the flop.
Well, it looks like they're freaking nuts, but I guess you could take.
Despite his antics earlier, Paul Phillips is still thinking clearly, throws the hand away.
It does look like they're nuts, though.
It was good if you had a king or a 7.
Yeah, well, I believe I was beat. Especially after you didn't show me. That's the spot where you gotta show the guy if he just.
Did you say the blinds are up?
Yeah. Phil Hellmuth is all business here. He's not interested in engaging Paul Phillips anymore. Meanwhile, we've had a wild one at one of our outer tables where Sammy Farha, seated on the right, at one point had a chip lead of 70,000 to 10,000 over Hasan Habib.
Well, then Sammy's chip lead started to dwindle. Hasan won a series of all-ins. And that's what we're seeing here time and again, the nature of heads-up poker. One guy can be way ahead, but then his opponent can take the lead.
So as we pick up this match, Hasan has totally turned things around and now has a chip lead of 65,000 to 15,000 over Sammy. Farha with suited ace-10.
You can hear Hasan taunting him. There's been a lot of gamesmanship in this match.
And Sammy Farha's moving all in.
And Hasan looks at his cards for the first time, and he just happens to have ace-king.
And quickly calls.
And if no tens or spades come out on this hand, Hasan Habib from only $10,000 will come back and win the match.
Well, Sammy Farha's been in a spot like this before. We recall the classic match with Chris Moneymaker at the 2003 World Series where he finished runner-up. Flop comes out 3 king 8. Hasan Habib pairs his kings.
Things look pretty bad for Sammy. He needs 2 running tens or a combination to make a straight.
There's one of the tens.
There's the first 10. Stranger things have happened.
Another 10.
Rivers a 4 of spades, however, and Hasan Habib has eliminated one of the crowd favorites. Sammy Farha sent packing after the second round. Hasan Habib moves on to the Sweet 16. We take you back to our featured table now, where Phil Hellmuth has established a chip lead over Paul Phillips of over 5-1.
I'm all in.
Phillips moving all in on his suited ace-8.
How much is it? Hold on. Let me just look. I might not even.
Phil has a jack-5 offsuit. It's a tough decision. On one hand, he doesn't want to double Paul Phillips up. On the other hand, he has a chance to knock him out. I think what could be going through Phil's mind is his 2 cards are probably live, the jack and the 5. And if Paul Phillips doesn't have that, doesn't have a pair, he's not that much of an underdog.
How much is in there? The blinds are 2,000, 4,000, right?
There's 8 in the middle. Yeah.
God dang. It's 91.
91. You're getting worse than 2-1, Phil. Worse than 2-1.
Hellmuth calls.
And he's going to be happy. He has 2 live cards.
Jackson 5.
I'm glad you have a cute name for your stupid hand. Good luck. Thank you.
Phil calling for a jack or a 5. Flop comes jack 8-9.
Phil has made a pair of jacks and Paul's made a pair of 8s. Paul needs an ace or an 8. Otherwise, Phil's going to win this match.
Turns a 6 of spades.
Down to his last card. Paul Phillips needs an ace or an 8.
Rivers a king of hearts, and Phil Hellmuth is again able to run away from a guy that's been chasing him through poker rooms for years. Hellmuth advances.
Okay, so if I beat you, this is what I was going to show.
Paul Phillips had a kill
Since
Phil
I lost, you guys can't see it.
T-shirt on.
You can show that one to the camera, though.
Somebody call and apologize to Tarantino's people. And all kinds of fun between those two guys. My goodness, that was just a clinic in bad poker behavior. No etiquette. It was fun to watch, but a lot of table talk between those two. What was happening in that match?
I'm not sure. I didn't know if we were watching a poker match or one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Well, did Paul let it get to him? I mean, did Phil's bully tactics work there?
Not really. In fact, I think Paul got to Phil a little bit. Phil challenged him to an outside match. Phil was a little shaken up there. Ultimately, what happened was Phil held the cards, and that's why Phil won the match.
And there's no lack of familiarity between these two guys. In fact, many of these participants have histories that go way back. So as we get to the field of 16 now, and we get to the third round, what do we have to look forward to there?
Well, if you talk about histories that go way back, Phil's next opponent, Huck, these guys were the best of friends at one time, and Phil's usual strategy will not work with Huck. If there's one mild, mellow guy in the tournament, it's Huck, and he's not going to get rattled. So Phil's going to try and get into his head, but he can't get into his head the same way. That's what makes this interesting. Different strategies, different players playing different ways, and it's really getting intense now. We're down to 16 players.
And it's been somewhat of a theme in the tournament as well, changing your game based on your opponent. So Phil Hellmuth advances in the Hearts bracket along with Lyle, Berman, Carlos Mortensen, and Huck Seed. 3 of the 4 world champions are in the Hearts bracket. In the Diamonds bracket, Ted Forrest, Antonio Esfandiari, David Sklansky, and Scott Fischman advance. In the Clubs bracket, it's Greenstein versus Juanda and Cloutier versus Hennigan. And finally, for the Spades, Mimi Tran plays Chris Ferguson, and Mike Sexton takes on Hasan Habib. We've seen fantastic action in the round of 32.
We sure have, Matt. That match between Paul Phillips and Phil Hellmuth was one of the most bizarre poker events I've ever seen.
In Heads Up, anything can happen. And as the National Heads Up Poker Championship continues, next week we look forward to hitting the round of 16. That's when Phil Hellmuth will match up against his old friend Huck Seed. And Hold'em specialist Ted Forrest battles Antonio Esfandiari. For Lindsay Czarniak and Gabe Kaplan, this is Matt Vasgersian thanking you for joining us on the National Heads Up Poker Championship.